Joe Bennett, obviously, with my man Hunter Labrada. We're in Columbus right now, hooking up for as many sessions as we can get in, which equates to 2 sessions.
2.
Yeah, and which is 2 more than none. So honestly, just so everybody kind of knows, I think
Sorry
it's
to cut you off. So you guys start again. When you're banging on the table and stuff.
Yeah.
It's making the camera shake and
it like cuts off.
No, it's just watching back. It happened when
like shaky.
When you were doing it with John. It happened as well.
Yeah.
There was points where the camera was just shaking.
Yeah.
And as a viewer, I was sitting there like, just like.
So it just bothers you, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I take my hands off the table. All right. So anyway, here with Hunter Labrada, just wrapping up our delt workout earlier and somewhere quiet that we can talk about it. So we're getting 2 sessions when we're in here, and it's kind of on. Hunter's 11 weeks out now.
Yep, 11 weeks as of tomorrow.
So if anybody doesn't know the rules of the bodybuilding world, is whatever the person that's competing is on, that's the split that we go for. So we lined it up a couple of weeks ago and literally planned according. So we did delts today, we're doing hams and calves tomorrow.
Calves tomorrow, yep.
So
it's a big lifesaver, coming here traveling. It's very out of my element already, and being so close to the show, not really a time to be messing around or not getting the work in. So it worked out really well that I was able to link up with him for this. So thankful for that.
Literally said, well, what's the order that you normally do? And he says, well, I normally start with the rear delts and then do a side raise and then do a press and maybe something after that. So that's exactly what we did today. We found a good pec deck, started on there. And you guys will see, we'll find out how much you guys can hear, but as you can see, it's just there were maybe like 1 or 2 little tips at every single spot.
Staying braced with my chest pushed in was the main one.
Yeah, so on like the rear delts. Yeah.
Going out instead of trying to pull back was another good cue. So those are the 2 cues I really picked up there.
Yeah, and I think honestly, personally, I think that stuff's great because it's like I never come in, anybody I'm ever working with or helping, it's like there's no agenda on my end. It's like, well, let's see where we're at, and we'll just kind of see what happens. As you hopefully expect, is like somebody that kind of knows his stuff more. It's not going to be like, it's going to take like 10 sets to get this going into the right spot. It's normally like those small little things, which again, from the outside view might not seem like it matters a whole lot, but the longer you're doing that, like that's where we're at now.
Hey, you make little changes, you get 2% more effective here, 2% there. Those percentages add up, and at the level that you and I do things, those percentages make a difference, honestly. So
people kind of get tedious sometimes when I've ever had somebody that actually listens to me. It's a lot of single arm stuff. It's a lot of cable arm stuff. When you really understand how to fit exercises.
They don't need a lot of volume.
Yeah, they don't.
People are doing like 10, 15 sets for arms, and it's like I can't remember the last time I did more than like 3 or 4 working sets for biceps. I'll do top set drop down on like a barbell curl, or not a barbell curl, like a single arm dumbbell or something, and then like either like a hammer or a cable, and then it's
that's
done.
Let's go. So that's same for everybody. Even if you don't have great genetics for arms, I use myself as examples. Like, the only times that I haven't made progress in my arms is when I'm dealing with hurt elbows. So even if they progress at a slower rate, if I can just keep my elbows healthy, they'll keep growing, and the same for everybody. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, and
steak after was good too.
Yeah, we had steak afterwards. It's more exciting.
Steak and dry baked potatoes.
Yeah. Mine was just my own choice. His was from
delicious
instructions that I have to do so. But that is that. Stay tuned for the next workout, guys.
Yep. The stuff I use a lot of, the isolate, branch chains, and then recharge. My daughter's gym bag, or mine, you'll never know, right? But anyways, yeah, so we're coming up on being 10 weeks out on Saturday, we're 11 right now technically. Diet hasn't changed since I talked to y'all last. We're still north of 600 grams of carbs a day right now. Still doing zero cardio. Today actually I lost like 7 pounds in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Today actually I had a high day. Carbs were almost 1,000 today. Like before I trained I had two Dunkin' Donuts, blueberry muffins, and then 11 ounces of rice and 50 grams of isolate, so damn near 300 grams of carbs. I feel like I'm about to pop right now. But yeah, so we're gonna head inside. We're training back and buys today. Thursdays are a heavy day for back, so I say heavy. It's more of our like compound motion, so we'll do like rack pulls, probably dead stop rows, like one-armed something, and the warm-up that we've done before in the past that y'all have seen. So I've learned to love back day. It wasn't always a favorite of mine, and my physique reflected it, but been getting the shit beaten out of it by this guy every single time we train it for like the last year and a half. So I've learned to love it. Started off with the kind of like warm-up activation that we've been doing for a while now. Got it from Joe Bennett, hypertrophy coach on Instagram. Those 2 exercises between like that row with the band, then the straight arm push downs, basically work every part of the exercise for all the back exercises you do, you know, like the scapular retraction, the driving the elbow while keeping it close to your body, or in the case of like vertical pulls, you know, getting that full stretch, then the shoulder down and back, and then driving the elbow down, not back. So that made a big difference for our back training. That's one of the best things that I brought back from there.
Got a really good pump and really good feel. And
yeah.
When we did the workout, you know.
And then really I wanted to do cable rows with the mag grip handle, but this guy wanted to do the lever edge row. We haven't done that thing in a while, and I'm actually glad we did it because it felt really good.
Then we did one arm vertical pulling, and that's the only thing we did for vertical pulling. We only did 2 sets of that. Sundays we've been blasting the vertical pulling, so we didn't really feel like we needed to that much today. And then we did dead stop barbell rows, and then we did rack pulls.
Yeah, so.
And we both were spent actually. Rack pulled a lot less than we normally both did.
Yeah, normally the weight, he didn't even budge off the rack. He'll do, you know, for anywhere from like 5 to 8, and then the weight I got like stoned at after 2, I'll normally do for a set of 5 or 6. So if that's any indicator of how hard we worked before that, it's a good one. You know, it's one of those things you can't really get disappointed like week in, week out if you don't like hit a new PR on things, because there's so many different factors, you know, what's happening with the food, what's going on outside of the gym, how hard did you work before. So you know, the fact that we were able to fail out with that weight a lot earlier than we normally do is a sign that we worked hard, not that we've been slacking off.
Yeah, we did. We went to failure with the one-arm row. We went to failure with the pull down, and then we went really, really heavy with the barbell rows. And both had a really good set with that. So it doesn't matter that we kind of sucked with the rack pulls. But.
Your lat like originates right here, and then depending on like your genetics and stuff, inserts somewhere around here. So the purpose of a muscular contraction is to get the insertion as close to the origin as possible. So whenever you hear people saying drive your elbow back, if you drive it back and aren't keeping it close, you're getting the insertion farther away. So everything we're doing, we're keeping that shoulder locked back and getting the point closer already, and then we're keeping that elbow really close to the body and really squishing almost. You'll hear me tell him, you know, like squish your tricep in your lat. He's so damn big in his lats, you know, he can't really drive his tricep through his lat, but he can get it squished as close as possible. That, and then drive your elbow to the middle of your lower back, because the lat, your anatomy, obviously it wraps around your rib cage. So as you pull more elbow towards the middle of your lower back, and that'll end up getting you the best possible lat contraction. So from an anatomical standpoint, that's the way it was explained to me, and it just made a lot of sense. And you know, that was less than 6 months ago. I've been training really, really hard and thought I knew what I was doing for 8 years. So that was really cool, something to learn, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how it is, right?
Yeah, for sure. The second you think you know it all, you're dumb. You know, if you can't be coached and you can't, you know, at least listen to what someone has to say, chances are you aren't getting it in as good as you could. So really happy with how today went. Gonna be catching up with y'all tomorrow. We're training shoulders. It's always a good day.
You're 10 weeks out.
I'm 10 weeks out as of Friday. Yeah, tomorrow he's 14. I'll let y'all know now, shoulders probably isn't gonna be the most exciting workout ever, because basically all of our shoulder work's become like extremely braced and extremely slow, and just focusing really on just using the actual deltoids, nothing else, no momentum, no triceps, nothing. So might not look like the most exciting thing in the world, but pay attention, I promise you'll pick up something that'll really make a difference in your shoulder development. So about to get these post-workout shakes in us and get on with the day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
So the only thing you're missing out on here is because you're not really getting in a hip extended position. Technically, you're not training your hamstring fully short, but you don't grow muscle there. So I would say
it's like this, like or something beautiful.
Well, you know, so what we'll do today. So I like to train that fully short position every once in a while. But and I think also your hamstrings will function a little bit differently doing something at the hips. You know, so whether you're managing the hips through like a glute ham, I think would be a good option as well too. Because one, that'll get you pretty close to fully shortened, but two, managing the hips as well, and then maybe an RDL version. But
I just get like RDL like my glutes and my take over. I feel like glute ham and my hamstrings.
Yeah, so I'd honestly say like this particularly, like honestly between this and the glute ham, like that could be pretty much it. You know what I mean? Same as anything. If you've got like most body parts.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My hamstring workouts for the last like 6 months have been like 7 or 8 sets of seated glute ham and then lying to finish.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yep. Well, honestly, like that's where I think I can get 90% of my hamstring development from here. This is the exercise that makes absolutely the most sense, because even compared to like a lying leg curl, like you're so much more braced here. Like lying leg curl becomes managing your hips, managing this, whatever. If you've got that thigh pad, like the only thing I'd like to add is seatbelt. If you got the thigh pad and seatbelt, all you can do is just hamstring is like 100% pain there. And you're training from fully lengthened to mid-range, which is where you're going to feel the most. Yeah.
I'd never used the seatbelt until I visited Joe in Tampa.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I kind of thought it was silly until I used it for the first time. It really does make such a difference having your hips fully back and anchored the whole time.
find just from like, your deadlifting and squatting that you find those easy?
No.
No, you still find them hard.
Yeah.
I thought because of like obviously how much you can lift, like the powerlifting stuff, that you would find this easy.
It's a completely different movement.
Yeah. You'll find out how much like that.
This is a humbler if you do it right.
Knee flexion, like you don't gain knee flexion strength from deadlifts and squats.
Right.
You really don't. You might gain some hip strength.
Yeah.
But like even like the hamstrings, you know, like whatever the hamstrings do in hip extension almost has no crossover to knee flexion.
Oh right.
Yeah.